ask you?
I don't know.
So now,
That is a great
whereabouts, and have you got lots of...
One brother.
Stand up.
Do people expect you to be...
Your best girl.
No boys were attracted to me.
7-year-old.
It's a lady clown.
There's boys.
Do people expect...
No.
You're not funny, but you're funny as
Are we ready to rock and roll?
Okay, no, sit up and answer these questions correctly.
God.
Say pass or anything you can't answer.
Just wiping the sweat off my moustache.
Excellent.
So, getting the men to be attractive, you see, by saying that.
Are we cooking away? We are. So now, Vic, whereabouts in the family do you come?
Fourth, the youngest. I'm the baby.
I'm the youngest.
I'm a youngest, which is always parlous.
I am the second oldest child.
Oh, I'm the eldest. I'm the
Of how
eldest.
many?
2.
Well, I was the only girl in the family, children-wise, so I was picked on.
I was the only child of an elderly couple to whom I was a great surprise, and they had a great sense of humor, or they would have drowned me along with the cats.
And anything that just sounds like a stupid question, try and have an answer that makes it sound like a more intelligent question.
Oh, okay.
Try and make it look as if I'm a good interviewer. Do you see the point of you being here now?
Me out.
Yeah.
I was all right as the much-loved second daughter. It all went horribly wrong when my mother accidentally got pregnant again at the ripe old age of about 39, old enough to know better.
I'm an only child. I think that was by design. My parents decided not to have any more after me. In fact, they didn't really want me at all. My mother asked for an abortion, and some people would say, and she got one.
It depends on what sort of day of the week it is or where I'm living, but generally speaking, and for the most part, I was the younger sister of 2.
Whereabouts do I come in the family?
Yeah. Like, are you first kid, second kid?
Oh,
are
sorry,
you?
I thought you meant in a sort of some sort of race.
So, Tracy.
Done.
But you're not an only child, are you?
No.
How many in your family?
Just have an older sister.
Okay.
I spun off from her show, the Patty Ullman show, in my mother's bedroom when we were kids, so I'm a spin-off. She'd stand on the windowsill and she'd sing, "Hello, everybody, I want you to know this is me and this is my show, and on the show we have tonight, Tracy Ullman!" And I'd come running into my mum's nightdress.
And have you got lots of brothers and sisters?
One brother.
Okay.
Called Clyde.
Okay.
Isn't that a cool
It's a
name?
great name.
And he's the one who walks down the street, it's like you hear, dun, 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 Clyde, dun, dun, dun. He's just the coolest guy I know.
Do you come from a funny family?
Moi prefers not to discuss my family life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's not because it was difficult. Far from it. It's just that I'm currently, I'm trying to option the movie rights.
My dad was very kind of a sarcastic, ironic, difficult guy.
Was your dad funny then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had a rather black sense of humour. Sort of, proper Birmingham sort of... I can't think of any jokes. He died such a long time ago, but yeah, it was very sort of down kind of, that kind of humour and sort of black and rather, yeah, that was Dad. But my mother was more like me.
My father was very, very funny, and that's why I think it's all about genetics and DNA.
Did your dad teach you to say bitch, bastard, bum, shit, fuck, damn?
Yes.
Okay, that was...
Yeah, I had one of those dads that thought it was hilarious to teach his, 2-year-old a bunch of swears.
I was licking jelly off of my boyfriend's penis, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. It's like...
My dad was a very strange man. He worked on the railways at one point, and he would do sometimes this totally illegal thing of taking me round with him to check the rails of a bank holiday and things. Shouldn't have been a child there with these live rails. And I remember once there'd some damage on the track and someone had chalked up vandals. And my dad crossed it out and wrote Visigoths.
Were you funny as a family?
We were all in the same trench.
Yeah.
We fought the same battle, which was each other. And so, in order to annihilate each other, we didn't, unfortunately, have howitzers or whatever else they're using now. So we used our mouths to annihilate each other. And it was a war to the finish.
Was there much humour in your household when you were little?
Well, my father was from Cork. I think that answers the question.
And we leave it at that. Full stop.
It depends if you call the TV flying through the living room every night funny.
We both didn't have really smooth childhoods. There was a lot of, you know, dysfunction and turmoil and things. So I think that's where the funny comes in.
Violence is comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother was funny because, like, she would say, Gladys, get in here. Gertrude, you know, Mary Lou. And no one in our family was named this. But she said, oh, I get tired of saying the same names over and over again.
Humorless, desperate, fearful upbringing. I mean, my parents are really traditional, really Korean, and so it was never funny. Nothing was ever funny. It was always very serious and dire. We were never going to have enough money. We were never going to be able to stay in this country. We were always being deported.
My parents are pretty funny. They are. They're excellent mimics. But they do, you know, impersonations of people you don't know. You know, it's like, hey, this is the lady who sits in the third pew on Sunday. You're like, what? Mom, nobody knows her. What? You nailed her. Dead on. But I don't think that's going to play out of, you know, First Baptist. I don't think anybody else is going to get that.
Wasn't there any humour going on inside your house?
Yeah, humour. But I don't remember being a joker or anything. I don't.
Was your dad a joker?
I don't remember having arms either, but I obviously had to have arms.
You did have arms. And you remember your family?
Yes.
Recently, my mum was over to stay and I heard her reading Winnie the Pooh to my son and just suddenly remembered how brilliant she was, actually, at all the voices and how she invested kind of such passion and humour and characterisation, particularly in Piglet.
Yeah. And did you feel safe to kind of show off inside the family?
You know, it must have really started there because I said those words and I got all this adult attention and praise, and so I think it was always trying to, like, get more of that.
I threw something at my mum and it hit her and I walked away. When I came back in the room, she was laying on the floor with ketchup on her face.
Excellent.
It's a text.
When my dad came home, very worse for wear with the booze one night, and he fell asleep on the chair. And I remember slicking his hair on the side and getting a bit of coal from the fire and putting a little tash. And I started goose-stepping around him. And the boys thought that was highly amusing. So we had sort of half-dead Hitler in the chair, and I was probably about 6 at the time or something, but anything to get a giggle.
Daddy didn't laugh much. He was a quiet, serious man. And he liked teasing me, and I don't like being teased. So I don't think we shared the same sense of humour.
Okay, that's interesting. Because teasing by your dad, my dad certainly teased me, but I used to absolutely love that. I think he used it as a form of discipline, actually, rather than any corporal punishment. My dad would be slightly sarcastic, but very funny, and I would get the message very quickly. So that was something I learnt, I think, from my dad. But different for you if you didn't want to be teased. My daughter doesn't like being teased.
No, I hated it.
If you're going to get psychological, it's because my dad died, I guess. And you think, because you're cheated of something when you're so young, but something so brilliant and so was taken away from you, you go through your whole life thinking it's about to be taken away from you. Someone wrote a thesis on father loss, but of girls once, this wife of this writer I knew, and she gave me this thesis. She'd lost her father at the same time as me, and it was really amazing to see the characteristics of her talking to all these girls that had lost their dads, and they seemed to have the same characteristics as me, the independence and the bravery at times, but then the being cautious, and anyway, so...
No, I lost my dad too, and I think that's...
How old were you?
18, yeah. But I think I've slightly made my dad a bit of a hero, because I didn't know him long enough for him to not be a hero.
Well,